I was 8 years old back in 2006 when Casino Royale came out, and now in 2021 I'm in my early 20s and I get to see the final 007 film with Daniel Craig. What a journey this has been. The name's Benner, Jack Benner, and here to give my review for No Time to Die. No Time to Die is the fifth and final James Bond film for Daniel Craig, this time directed by Cary Joji Fukunaga. In No Time to Die, Bond has left active service and is retired until he's brought back to MI6 to stop a mysterious new villain played by Rami Malek from causing a worldwide threat. Now, I would like to give my thoughts on the Daniel Craig Bond films before I give you my thoughts on No Time to Die. Casino Royale, not only an absolutely fantastic Bond film, an absolutely fantastic movie in general. Craig absolutely knocked it out of the park in his debut role as Bond. Lee Sheaf is a terrific Bond villain. Vesper is the best Bond girl. Director Martin Campbell did a terrific job with the dark tone and the marvelous action scenes in that movie. And still today, one of the best action films I've ever seen and one of the best action films of the 2000s decade. I view that movie as the Batman Begins for Bond. How I view Batman Begins is the Batman movie we needed after Batman and Robin. I view Casino Royale as the Bond movie we needed after Die Another Day. Quantum of Solace, pretty disappointing when compared to Casino Royale. Craig is still great, but the editing during the action scenes is very sloppy and trying to come off as a Jason Bourne movie. The villain was really bad and I just wasn't interested in the story. While not an awful film, it's definitely the weakest of the Daniel Craig Bond films. Skyfall, definite step up and an absolutely fantastic Bond film. Sam Mendes did an incredible job directing that movie, and the stunning cinematography from Roger Deakins. Craig gives his best performance as Bond. Javier Bardem absolutely knocked it out of park as Silva. M gets more to do. And that and Casino Royale are interchangeable for my favorite Daniel Craig Bond film. Spectre, also disappointing when compared to Skyfall. The cast is still great and the cinematography is amazing and the opening action scene is fantastic. But after the opening action scene, the movie is not as fantastic. It has some pacing issues and the story I felt like wasn't as interesting as it could have been. And you have a phenomenal two-time Oscar-winning, super talented actor Christoph Waltz as the villain, and he felt very underused in that movie. Definitely not a bad film, but it would definitely be the second weakest of the Daniel Craig Bond films. And now with No Time to Die, I was excited, but a little nervous. Two Daniel Craig Bond films I absolutely loved, and two I were disappointed by. And I was glad Spectre was not the last time we were going to see Craig in the role of Bond. And Sam Mendes, who directed Skyfall and Spectre, is not directing this one. And instead we have Cary Joji Fukunaga, who comes from a background of True Detective. And I also remember he directed Beasts of No Nation in 2015, that Netflix movie with Idris Elba. And the trailers came out and they were very promising and did get me excited for this movie. And as you may remember, this movie was supposed to come out in early 2020. And you know what happened at that point. COVID hit, and this is one of the big movies that has been through many delays. Early 2020, then November 2020, then moved to 2021, tried April of 2021, and now October 8th, 2021, No Time to Die has finally hit theaters. Regardless of how many delays this movie has been through, my excitement was still intact. I was just hoping for this to be a really good Bond film and a satisfying ending for Daniel Craig as Bond. My thoughts on this movie: while I do think Casino Royale and Skyfall are better, I thought No Time to Die was a great and very satisfying finale for Daniel Craig's Bond. First with the positives, the cast is top notch here. Daniel Craig truly gives it his all for his final time in the role. And I think this and Skyfall are his best performances as the character. You can truly tell with the emotion he gives this time around, the dedication with doing the stunts, the struggles that James Bond goes through in this movie that makes him a lot more human than just a super spy. This movie proves why Daniel Craig is my favorite Bond, up there with the late Sean Connery. Just hats off to Daniel Craig being dedicated to this role for 15 years. No matter how old he has been getting or how many stunts he's been doing for this role. Even if he has been in two disappointing films as Bond, Craig has always been terrific. And for the returning characters, Léa Seydoux returning as Madeline from Spectre. I thought she did a good job in Spectre, but I liked her even more this time around. She got a lot more interesting things to do, a lot more backstory. Ben Whishaw returning as Q and Ralph Fiennes returning as M. They're great. And now for the new characters. One of the new characters I was looking forward to in this movie was Ana de Armas as the new Bond girl, Paloma. Sadly, she's not in the film a lot, she's only in it for one scene, but for what she did, I really like what she brought. She was surprisingly funny, she was BA, she was gorgeous. And this movie proves why Ana de Armas is one of the rising talented actresses after seeing Blade Runner 2049, this, and Knives Out, also with Daniel Craig. One of the new characters I was curious to see was Lashana Lynch as a new 00 agent, and I was a little worried her character was going to be like one-upping Bond every chance she gets. I was like, just please don't go in that direction. And thankfully, it didn't. And I really liked her character. I thought she was awesome during the action scenes. And now for the Bond villain that I was excited to see, Rami Malek as Safin. And I was excited to see what he could do as a Bond villain after seeing his Oscar-winning performance as Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody. Now, he doesn't have a lot of screen time, but for what he did, I thought he did an amazing job. He had a great backstory, I thought Rami Malek was intimidating, and there was one scene where he was having a conversation with Madeline, and during that scene, honestly, Rami Malek gave me the creeps. Now admittedly, I do think Le Chiffre and Silva are more compelling villains in my opinion, but I still thought Rami Malek did such a great job as a Bond villain. Now this movie is directed by Cary Joji Fukunaga, who hasn't really helmed a big budget movie like this, so I was curious to see what he could do. I was really impressed. He did a fantastic job. Really doing a great job with the grand scale of the action, the practicality, the visceral hand-to-hand combat scenes, the excitement and the tension. He really did a great job filming the action scenes that are well shot. No shaky cam, you can tell what's going on during the fight scenes. And there are some absolutely thrilling action scenes in this movie. The opening scene was very suspenseful and intense, followed by a fantastic chase scene to which you've seen in the trailers with the Aston Martin. And there was a great action scene set at a forest with fog. And there was an impressive long take scene at a stairwell during the climax that was great too. And the cinematography in this movie is just gorgeous to look at. So many great shots in this movie, and I honestly think this is the second best cinematography in a Bond film, with number one being Roger Deakins' work in Skyfall. It's that good. And I actually didn't know this after I saw the movie and I checked IMDb. The same cinematographer of this movie was actually the same person who shot La La Land, so no wonder this movie looks stunning. But what I really liked about No Time to Die was the story. I was surprised actually how invested I was with these characters, to how developed they are, and I was actually more engaged in the story than I thought I would be. And during the climax, I actually felt more emotion and stakes, which really surprised me. And Billie Eilish's song No Time to Die during the opening credits, great Bond song. I love You Know My Name and Skyfall, those two would be my favorites. Another Way to Die, while not the most memorable, another good Bond song. I personally wasn't a fan of Writings on the Wall. I thought that was a boring Bond song, and that seriously won the Oscar for Best Original Song, really. But this song, I think it's much better. I have a feeling it will get nominated for Best Original Song. Will it win? Who knows? We'll see. Sadly, I have a few problems with this movie. I will get to those right now. First, this is the longest Bond film at 2 hours and 43 minutes, and there were a few moments where I did feel the length here and there. And second, I would have liked to see more screen time from certain characters like Rami Malek or Ana de Armas. And finally, there were two new characters that were introduced in this film. One was a scientist and the other one was a new agent. Something about those two characters didn't entirely work for me. Overall, after many delays, I am glad to say No Time to Die was worth the wait. Craig gives it his all, Rami Malek is an amazing Bond villain, great supporting cast, fantastic and thrilling action, and good story with emotion and stakes. Definitely check out this movie if you're a James Bond fan, and if you've been loving Daniel Craig as Bond, this was a great Bond film for him to go out on. And for my Daniel Craig 007 ranking, number 5 would be Quantum of Solace, number 4 would be Spectre, I would put No Time to Die at number 3, and number 2 and number 1 have always been interchangeable for me, but number 2 would be Casino Royale, and number 1 giving the edge to Skyfall. And overall, I am going to give No Time to Die 4.5 stars out of 5, an A-. Couldn't have thought a more satisfying finale than this. After the ending of this movie, I am truly gonna miss Daniel Craig as Bond. He has always been my favorite Bond, and no matter who they get in the future, and I heard they might decide until next year for a new Bond, but whoever they get, it's gonna be a hard act to follow. So what do you guys think of No Time to Die? Do you agree? Disagree with me? Let me know below. Make sure to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe if you're new here. It really means a lot. I'm Jack Benner, and look forward to another movie review.